Welcome to the Temple of Limitless Light. This is our discussion on the Kabbalistic Cross. If you enjoy these little talks on different magical practices, please hit follow, and you're welcome to join the Facebook group, which I'll put in the comments and in the description of the video. Our group, Temple of Limitless Light, is dedicated to sharing these rituals and demonstrating and explaining them so that everyone can do their own ritual work and make the rituals their own once they understand them. So tonight, I wanted to talk about the Qabalistic Cross. Now, this is a ritual that I make, frankly, a really big deal out of, probably more so than any other Hermetic magician, Hermetic writer that I've seen. We use it constantly in our rituals. At the beginning of every ritual, we do a very long guided visualization of the Qabalistic Cross to connect everyone together into the egregore, and it gets everybody on the same wavelength of vibration. During ritual, we'll do Qabalistic Cross at specific points to sort of anchor the sacred geometry. It acts as sort of a period at the end of a sentence. Qabalistic Cross, also, I use it as a daily practice along with liber resh. I do it at least 4 times a day. I do it when I wake up, when I greet the sun, when I greet Ra. I do it at noon, at the high point of the sun, when I greet Hathor. I do it at the sundown, when I greet Tum. And before I go to sleep, do it again, and when I greet Kefra, as a practice of aligning myself with the daily motions of the sun, of the planet. Because a lot of what magicians do is not actual magic to change the world, but to align ourselves and make ourselves more powerful magically by putting us in connection with the forces around us. Be aware, being mindful. So the Qabalistic Cross is a mindful activity. You stop what you're doing and very mindfully do the Qabalistic Cross to connect in. So where does it come from? It was written by McGregor Mathers, and I first learned it in my copy of The Middle Pillar. See, this is the old copy. Oops. Watching myself in the mirror. The Middle Pillar. This is my version that came out. This is printed in 1985. So I got this when I was in high school. Israel Regardie originally did it in the 1920s. And this book has a very odd thing about it. 1938, but I think it was a lot earlier than that. Qabalistic Cross in this book and nowhere else, it's given by Israel Regardie, is top of the head, to the feet, to the left shoulder, and to the right shoulder. Gives it nowhere else that way. Now, I prefer that because it's more in line with the Kabbalistic tree of life, which we're aligning ourselves when we do the practice, which I'll get into in a little bit more. I just wanted to mention this at the beginning, because if you've read about the Qabalistic Cross, you probably get head, right, left, well, head, ground, right, left, which is probably more common. Now, the Golden Dawn, McGregor Mathers, his other people originally created this as a way to have a crossing that people could do as part of their ritual practice, because they were very familiar with Christianity and they gave their own version of crossing yourself. Now, the Qabalistic Cross is considered a fundamental practice, and fundamentals, as they say, aren't the most important thing. They're literally the only thing. Every practice that we do that becomes more and more advanced as we move forward is just an elaboration. Even the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, is in a sense an elaboration of the Qabalistic Cross. This is the core ritual. So let's break it down and talk through it. And it's basically Eta, thou art. Bring the light down to your forehead. You cross the heart, where you can say the name of your holy guardian angel. So hold on.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Just stop your video because we're recording. You don't want to be on the recording. So Eta, saying the name of your holy guardian angel, ground in the earth, Malkut, Vigadula, Vigavura, the Olam, Amen. A very simple practice. But let me pull up, let me share my screen and show you some diagrams that might make it even more interesting. So here's a diagram of the tree of life. And you can see that Eta, we're reaching up to Keter, which is the source. The first thing that we can even say anything about, it's the absolute unity, the pleroma, that all the rest of the tree generates from. And that's like at the beginning, we're visualizing a great brilliance above the top of our head. That's Keter. We pull that down to our forehead and we say, Eta, thou art. And then what I do is I go down to the left shoulder. As you see, if you were standing in the tree, your left shoulder, Gedula, would be at this blue sphere. Now, this is the fourth sephra called Hesed, which stands for just limitless love. It's the first thing that comes across the abyss. Oh, wait a minute, sorry. Oh, sorry. So Eta, we cross the heart, sorry. And at the heart, we can silently say the name of our holy guardian angel or our guru or whatever forces we want to have in our heart. We don't vibrate that name. And then we go to Malkut. So we're taking Keter, which is the point, bringing the light down to Malkuth and grounding it in the earth, which is the expression of, Keter is the point, Malkuth is the expression of the universe. So we're standing in this column of light, the middle pillar, going right down through us and empowering us. Then we go up to the left shoulder, where we visualize a ball of blue flame, Gedula, which is Hesed. Sorry, be confusing. This is the limitless love that comes down across the abyss. This is the compassion for all living things, for all sentient beings. We generate that power as that's the next step. Once we're grounded, it's compassion for all sentient beings, an infinite compassion that goes out to everything, the bodhicitta, our connection to the universe. We bring that across and balance it via Gavura, the fifth safra, Gavura, that's severity. But in this context, let's think about it as wisdom or setting good boundaries. We have this infinite love, this is compassion, but we need to use it wisely. You can love somebody, but still need to get away from them, for instance. So love and will, as Crowley said, love is the law, love under will. We need to balance these things. So we balance, center and connect to the power and ground, balance our love and our will, and then we seal it in, Le Olam, Amen, forever, never, Amen. This is the basics of it. We are aligning ourselves with the Kabbalah, with the tree of life. Now, at this point, everyone likes to, not everyone, very often people like to think about it as chakras. And I can understand, it is a very similar practice to chakras. These are balls of light, energy balls that we're imagining within our aura. Whereas the chakra system, most chakra systems that are really sort of aligning yourself with an energy center, the nervous system of the body. And they have a whole different sort of objective. The Qabalistic Cross, you could say it is, but the chakras are on the archetypal plane. They're more mythological. They're representing sort of archetypal ideas. So they would be chakras on the inner plane. So it's probably better not to try to mix the two systems, because you're going to dilute both of them. So if you're working with a 7 chakra system, that's awesome and that's cool and it's really great. But think about it separately from the Qabalistic cross, we're aligning ourselves with the tree of life, so that we can keep the two systems separate. So you can see within this very simple exercise, we're connecting to the source of everything, grounding it into the earth beneath us, balancing our love, our will, and instilling in that energy level. Now, if we're doing ritual magic, we do that at the beginning, and especially as a group, to get started. And then once we do some work and we raise our energy levels, right, we do it again and ground and seal that energy in at a higher level, right? So you can do it multiple times throughout a ritual, just as though you would do it first, then do something like the lesser banishing ritual, the pentagram, and at the end, do it again at the period, sort of at the end of the sentence, to end the ritual, because you need to have a sense of finality to rituals. You need to come out of them, come back to the prime material, and seal that energy level in its new state that you've changed by doing magical work. So it's a very simple ritual that's barely mentioned at the beginning of, the Kabbalistic, as part of the lesser banishment ritual, the pentagram turns into something really profound that you can use throughout the day. And now in a moment, I'll get up and I'll do a guided visualization of Qabalistic cross with all of the pieces. That would be a formal practice. And even if I do it formally, it only takes a few minutes. There's also the informal practice. Every practice has both a formal and informal. Now, the informal is when you're at work and you're whatever, and it's noontime or something, you want to do a mindful Qabalistic cross. You remember how you felt when you did the formal practice. In your mind, remember how it feels. In a moment when we do the formal practice, I'll say, try to remember how this feels. Because once you lock that in, you can just think the words to yourself and remember the feeling. It'll bring you back to the effects of the formal practice. We need to be able to do this throughout our day without disturbing our coworkers or whatever. And you can do the cross. You can do an informal practice and work it into your day as a way to reach back and touch into that magic, that power, that connection to the source, and remember it. Okay, so I'm going to stand up and I'll guide us through the formal practice. You don't have to do it standing, but somehow it just makes a lot more sense. It feels a lot better. And my feet are falling asleep. You're going to follow me? All right. Okay, so a formal practice, you want to either stand and very comfortable with your legs, your feet at sort of shoulder length, your spine straight, or sit in a comfortable chair with your spine straight, just like you would for meditation or whatever. Very natural, relaxed pose. Do some belly breathing. You always want to start with belly breathing. You should belly breathe all the time, 24/7. But at this time, we should be very very aware and sink into our bodies and belly breathe. Do a few breaths. Breathing from the bottom of your belly. Visualize yourself growing larger and larger. Your head moving up through the atmosphere into outer space, past the moon, into the universe, until the earth is just a small ball beneath your feet. Visualize a ball of pure brilliance above your head. Reach up and touch the light and bring it down to your forehead and vibrate the name, the word, Ego. Bring the light down to your heart. Silently whisper the name of your holy guardian angel or your guru, whatever you wish, the energy you'd like to have in your heart. Bring the column of light down through the center of your body, down through the earth to the very molten core of the planet. So you're standing in a column of brilliant light and vibrate. Bring the light up to your left shoulder and visualize a ball of blue flame representing Hesed, the unconditional love for all sentient beings, and vibrate. Vegedula. Bring the light across to your right shoulder. Visualize a ball of red flame, representing your will, your wisdom, your ability to understand and use that love wisely. Vibrate. Vegebura. Cross your arms across your chest. Leolam. Amen. Thou art the kingdom, the glory, and the power forever and ever. Amen. Now, wait for a moment and see how you feel. Be mindfully present in the body and see if you feel an energy within your body. Does it have a color? Does it have a feeling? Does it have an emotion? Where in your body do you feel it strongest? Does it have a shape? Does it have a flavor or a color? Is it in your chest or in your head? Just be aware and remember it without judging. We just want to be aware of how we're feeling at this moment. And then that's the Qabalistic Cross. The informal practice then would be just to say, while remembering how you felt a moment ago. There's several other pieces to unpack here. The idea of growing larger and larger. That's something we're not supposed to do, right? We're supposed to be small and humble. So this breaks us out of this mindset of contraction and gets into the idea of expansion, the expanding of your being. You're breaking a taboo. Now, vibrating the names is another thing. You know, we're not supposed to talk like this. We're supposed to use our inside voices, right? Now, how to vibrate the names is that you want to hold your larynx, your throat open, breathe from the belly, and then say the name in a way that vibrates your body. Now, for me, that's a low tone. For other people, it's higher tones. You just simply have to find the best way to say the names. Now, if you're in a place where you can't make a lot of noise, you can vibrate them very quietly, or even just in your mind. You see, we're breaking a lot of taboos here that release a lot of energy in a harmless way. But, these are things that we're taught we're not supposed to do. We're not supposed to, hold on, see if we can get the camera to work. We're not supposed to speak loudly and grow and do such things. But this is the first of many rituals of alignment and empowerment that we learned. And this can be a part of a daily practice, like you can do the liber resh, which in the morning, when you wake up, you face east, do the Qabalistic Cross, and you say, "Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strengths, and travelest over the heavens in thy bark, at the uprising of the sun, with Tahuti and a splendor at the prow, and Rahor abiding at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the night." You make the sign of air, Qabalistic Cross, and be mindful of the moment. I am awake. At noon, you can face south, make the sign of fire, and say Qabalistic Cross again. And you can do this in your mind. Hail unto thee who art Hathor in thy triumphing, even unto thee who art Hathor in thy beauty, who travelest over the heavens in thy bark at the mid-course of the sun, with Tahuti and his splendor at the prow, and Rahor abiding at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the morning. At sundown, do the Qabalistic Cross again, and in your mind or out loud, hail unto thee who art tomb in thy joy, even unto thee who art tomb in thy rest, who travelest over the heavens in thy bark at the downgoing of the sun, with Tahuti and his splendor at the prow, and Rahor abiding at the helm. And before you go to bed or at midnight, Qabalistic Cross again. Hail unto thee who art Kephra in thy hiding, even unto thee who art Kephra in thy silence, who travelest over the heavens at the midnight hour of the sun, with Tahuti and his splendor at the prow, and Rahor abiding at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of the evening. After each one, do the Qabalistic Cross, and there's also several creeds. There's more, that practice can be more complex. Those are some of the ways that you can use it as a moment of mindfulness throughout your day, where you can remember how you felt in the formal practice. Do it very quickly and silently, so no one will know. So that is our class on the Qabalistic Cross. John's missing. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have questions, please join the Facebook group. And oh, yes. And we have documents there on the Qabalistic Cross as well. Thank you.